Australia, it's Leigh here from Leigh's Art Studio. So it's week 3 of the Crazy Craft Challenge run by Pam and Luise. So their channels are The Paper Outpost and Luise Heinzel Junk Journal Art. This has been such a fun challenge and yeah, I've loved every second of it. This week we have to make a collage with 5 things beginning with the same letter as your name starts with. So in my case it has to be L for Leigh. And at first I'm thinking, oh, how many things start with L? Not too many. I couldn't think of a thing to start with. And then I started thinking about stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, okay, and there's that, and there's labels, there's leaf, there's lace, letters, luggage, love, lady, lion, lilac, lanterns, lavender, lemon, lipstick, lilies, language, love letters, and it just goes on and on and on, doesn't it? So there's more things than you could imagine. So anyway, I'm going to make my collage on a piece of mixed media paper. And for my background, I'm going to use my first L word, which is actually a scan of a watercolor painting I did. Now, I don't know whether to use the black and white or to use the color version. I have to make that decision. So, the black and white, well, no, if I use that, then it doesn't matter what I put on top of it. But if I use the color version, then I have a limitation in that it's got these other colours in there. Not sure. I have to make up my mind. But anyway, another thing that I wanted to use was one of these ladies. I really like this one. I just like her attitude. So I think it's going to be her. It's either her or her. So which one can I imagine in front of this landscape? She's quite big. I reckon this one would be walking in the woods with no shoes on, so she's going to be in. I think I'll use the coloured one. I got these photos from right, yes, that's right. I can't remember where they came from. Is it Pixter? It's got like all these public domain photos on it. I'll think of it a bit later on and I'll put it up on the screen, or I'll have a link in my box for that. So some of the other stuff I've got, I gave you a quick rundown in my little camera shoot that probably gave everybody vertigo, but sorry about that. But I have this, which is a letter. This was a prototype for some paper I was making, and I've got all sorts of stuff. So firstly, the thing that I need to do is to glue this down and then put some stuff over the top of it. So I'm going to just use matte medium to glue it down. So I'm going to do that. Try and keep in frame. Oh, see, found my A3 cutting mat. And I'm just using that today to keep me in frame. Not very successfully, obviously, just then. In my last video, I was complaining because I couldn't find my cutting mats. Now, I'm not going to let on where I found this, but I put it there. My fault. Okay, now let me glue this down and then I'll be back. Okie dokie, that is glued down now. And guess what? I said I was going to use matte medium. I didn't. I used my glue stick. And the reason I changed my mind about that was I thought the matte medium was going to make it too wet, and that's just been printed on a inkjet, and I think the colour might run a bit too much for my liking if I do it with that. So I've got that down. It's not on straight. Hey, who gives a you know what? It's got to be crooked. I love crooked. I love upside down, inside out, back to front, whatever. Love it. Okay, so I've got some stencils and I want to stencil over part of this, or some of it, maybe even all of it. And I have leaves. I have more leaves of a different type, But then I also have this love heart stencil, and it's got some really nice sort of filigree patterning on it. So I'm thinking, what am I thinking? I don't know what I'm thinking. I think I'll use that for a start, and gesso maybe over, oh, should I gesso? Yeah, why the heck not? Okay, we'll use gesso to start with, and if it doesn't look like the way I want it to look, or if it's too overpowering, guess what? We start again. That's not gesso, you doofus, that is modelling paste. Put it back and get the right thing. Whoopsie. I'm trying to keep my desk organised while I'm doing this, which is something I have never succeeded in doing in any past videos, so what do I think it's going to work this time? I don't know. Let's give it a try. I'll get back in screen where you can see me instead of just hearing the ranting of a mad woman. Okay, I have my trusty multi-purpose brush, which I use for everything. Okay, so I'm just going to very lightly use my gesso in parts of this, bits and pieces here and there. I don't want it to be dominating. So what I'm going to do when I finish this, because it's A4 size paper, I don't want it to be that big. So I would like to cut it down into what I don't know yet. Maybe to half the size. So I'm probably only going to do my, that's a bit messy. This is probably going to be obviously the half that I'll keep, and I might cut the rest up into tags. Okay, so that's enough of the gesso for the time being. Let's find something else to play with. I've got to keep track of what I'm using here. I've just got to use 5 elements that start with the letter L. Alrighty, I've got some nice inks, Distress Oxides. I shall use them, I believe. So I've got Wild Honey, and I've got Rusty Hinge, and I've got Brushed Corduroy, Vintage Photo, Black Soot, Lawn Lipstick, Antique Linen, and Walnut Stain. Well, I don't know what to use, but I do need a spongy thing. I don't want to use a dauber for this. I'm going to go and get a makeup sponge. I couldn't find a makeup sponge, but I've got a little bit of this. It's probably some packaging from something. So what I'm going to do, and I hope this is going to work. Oh, no I won't. I'll use the acrylic block. Go to plan B. So I'm just going to put some of that on there. This is beautiful colour, isn't it? Right, let's use a fan brush. So I've got some of my ink on my Distress Oxide on there, and I'm just going to, what am I going to do? Actually, I might use the same stencil actually and see if this works. I'm just going to wipe it over there. Oh, it's quite dark. Oh, I like the way that it's getting the little lines in the leaves. Oh, that looks pretty. This is a Bob Ross Happy Accident. See what I mean? This brush is quite stiff. Okay, well, that's not too bad. What do I do with the rest of that? Let's add a bit of water, just a little bit. And plonk it on there somewhere. Down here, that'll do. It gets rid of that without wasting the ink. Alrighty, let's go for another colour. Chucking stuff around everywhere. Okay, I like this Wild Honey. Wild Honey? Yes, Wild Honey. So this time I've put some on my acrylic block. I'm going to spray some water on that. Oh, that's yellow, isn't it? That should be alright though. Where can I put this? Let's put a little bit there, and a little bit there, a little bit there, and there, and there. pick it up from there, put it there, pick it up from there, put it there, bit there, bit there. You get the picture. I don't want to wet that. I want to leave it to do its own thing. There's water on the block, so it's going to do stuff anyway. But I would like something a little bit more distinct in that background up there, because that's a bit boring up there. I don't like boring. What else? What else? What else? Oh, okay. Oh, look what I found. Speckled egg. Yummy. Love this colour. I only just bought this and I can't stop playing with it. Okay. Come on, come on. This water bottle, not cheap, got it from the art store. Only likes to spray when it's held in a vertical position, I've found. Let's let that drip on there. See? Hold it up like that and it won't spray. It's so annoying. Okay, so that's just found its own way on there. Through the laws of gravity. Let's see what happens now. And I have another green, cracked pistachio. I was using those two colours, the speckled egg and the cracked pistachio, say that 5 times in a hurry, together the other day, and they were working beautifully. Okay, so what do we do with this? Let's put a little bit there, there, bit there, bit there, bit there. That'll do. I'm still keeping in mind that most of that's going to be chopped off. Do I need to dry this before I do anything else? Yes, you do, Leigh. Stop and dry. Okay, and keep in frame. I'll be back in 2 shakes of lamb's tail. My background is dry now, but it's not finished. So I'm going to put some more stuff on that. Are we in frame? Sort of, wrong way, that way, that's better. Everything looks back to front when you look at the monitor. At least in my setup it does. It's probably set up the wrong way, maybe. Okay, so I've cut out my lady. I've got a label. I've got a little bit of lace. I'm not sure what I'll do with that yet, or whether I'll use it. I went crazy and bought a die cut machine and then bought all these El Cheapo dies that don't cut properly. So I have a few of these, I think they're called skeleton leaves, that aren't really cut properly, and I haven't got one of those special little brushes to get all the bits out, and I just don't have the patience to sit there poking it all out. But I've got them, and I've tried to keep like a subtle colour scheme here. There's a few ring-ins. So I've got, these are made from vellum, these ones. So just to pop a colour in there somewhere. Got a blue one, that. And I decided to use this because I like this. It's out of a book. I found it at the recycling shop, and it was a child's address book that was full of fairy pictures, and then it had like each sign of the zodiac. It's got a little thing about it, and on the Libra one, I picked Libra because it starts with L, and the writing is really pretty font. So it says, quite often attractive, Librans are romantic and idealistic. They have a strong sense of what they believe to be right and are therefore reliable, unselfish and courteous. Sometimes tending to be frivolous, they will take time to come to a decision, but once having done so, it will be difficult to budge them from their point of view. That could probably apply to any of the signs of the zodiac, couldn't it? But anyway, I'm going to get that in this background somewhere, and I'm thinking, let's just move you over there, madame, out of the way. I was just here. I would have loved to have torn my lady out. I tried doing it and she lost half of her foot, and as she's going to be walking through this forest, or in front of the forest, or out of the forest or something, I think she needs both her feet. I did that to my ballet dancer the other day too. Accidentally ripped his foot off, so I cut her. But I'm going to leave that like that. That looks nice. I'll put that on there. Let's just ink around that with something. What colour? I found this, which is pumpkin. Stays on, so it shouldn't get washed away when I start adding stuff on top of it. What I'm thinking of doing is splashing some runny, what do you call it? Gesso, that's the word, on there somewhere. So I want to glue that on. This is the glue stick I use to glue down this piece of paper. So it's very reliable glue. Kaisercraft. Okay, so that's that. I would like to put some ink on top of that. Where's my acrylic block? Here it is. What colour? It's already a greeny sort of colour, so I think to enhance that would be nice. Let's go for this one, the speckled egg. That'll do. It's enough of that. A little bit of water. Activate it. Oh, here we go with this stupid spray bottle. Come on. Get out of there. Come on. That's it. You can do it. Just going to mix it up with my finger and then smush it across or on it. It's quite shiny, that paper. Just get rid of the rest of it somewhere. So I'll have to keep my hands out of that for the time being. Now let's think about this gesso business, and I'm going to use the stamp. That's not a stamp, it's a stencil. Okay, because I like the filigree type of patterning that's on it. I don't particularly like hearts. Probably because I haven't got one. Nah, yes I have. No, I just think they're a bit, I don't know. They're alright in the right place. But I just want some of the swirls and swirly things and dots. How's everyone going? Hope you're all well and happy. It's so windy here, so you might from time to time hear something bang, and as I said, I have neighbours that start using power tools as soon as I start recording. They don't know I'm recording, they're not doing it on purpose. But at the moment, someone's using a chainsaw. We've got really, really bad winds here at the moment. Like I'm talking, you know, 40 kilometres an hour and then gusting like up to 90 kilometres an hour. It's just scary, actually. I was watching our trees yesterday because I got my lovely little grevillea tree outside the lounge room window, and the birds love that tree because of all the flowers that are on it. And yesterday there was well, virtually no birds in it because it was too windy, I think. The other day when it was windy, there was one bird. He was in the tree and he was hanging on for dear life. And it was like he was on this bendy sort of pole, you know, the wind was just blowing him from side to side to side, and he was hanging on and hanging on. And, yeah, poor little fella. But yeah, all through the night, all you hear is bang, crash, and people's stuff is blowing over. We've got a spare wheelie bin around the side of the house, and I heard a crash, and I come out and I couldn't see anything, and then I turned around and here's the wheelie bin's actually been blown over. So that's inside the yard, so wouldn't have stood a chance out on the street if it had been out there. I don't like the way that turned out. I should have used a different colour. Not gesso. I need to do something with it. I might just use this and just do this and see what we get. We get that, which is a bit boring. Come on, you can do better than that. Surely, come on. It's alright. Nothing to write home about, is it? Let's go over here. It's probably not meant to be used in this manner, this ink, I would imagine, but hey, I'm going to use it the way I want to use it, not the way somebody tells me to use it. That's nice there. Yes, I like that. Let's just tap some in here a little bit. Oh, watch this awesome show on TV. My friend told me about it, and it's called Muster Dogs. See, my husband grew up on a farm, and his dad and his grandfather, they had dogs that worked the sheep. And this was about 5 pups from a litter from one of Australia's top sheepdog. Well, they're Kelpies is the name of the brand of them. And anyway, yeah, so they gave 5 of these pups to 5 different graziers. There was a sheep farmer, and I think mostly they were cattle farmers. Might have been 2 sheep farmers. But anyway, so they put, you know, like each dog got its own little collar, and a special colour for it, so that when you were watching you knew which dog was which. And in 12 months those people had to have those dogs be able to perform in a certain way, probably come up to the equivalent of a 3-year-old dog as far as training to be a stock, you know, like a working dog. It was so interesting. It was beautiful. And like, my husband hardly ever watches TV except when the footy's on. Well, I have to say, he sat there and watched the whole series. It started about 3 o'clock and he was still sitting there like 6:30, and I'm serving up dinner, and it's like, are you going to come and eat your dinner or what? But yeah, he thoroughly enjoyed it. These working dogs are marvellous, and we actually had a retired working dog, our Meg. She came from his dad's farm. When his dad went into a nursing home, we brought her up here to Queensland. She was down in New England Highlands. Yeah, so she spent her last years here with us, very happily. But I was worried when we first brought her up here. She was 8, I believe. She just spent her first 2 or 3 days running around the yard looking at the top of the fence, because we had a 6-foot wooden fence around the house. Well, we did in those days anyway. And yeah, so I thought, oh, I'm going to go to work and I'll come home and she's going to be gone for sure. You know, I was really worried that she'd get out and run away. And we had a Labrador at the, you know, our Bundy at the same time. And when they first got introduced, she hated him. She actually hissed at him the way a cat hisses. It was the weirdest thing. I've never seen a dog do anything like that. It was like, and he just kept, because we used to take him down to the farm all the time when we'd go down for Christmas or whatever. And anyway, he just kept trying to get her to play with him, and yeah, eventually she caved in and they became the best of friends. She lived to be 15, and she was really crippled up with arthritis, so we had to put her out of her misery, so to speak. And she was lovely. She was a border collie. Oh, how's that looking there? Oh, it's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Would she be a Libra? I think she might be. Okay, so I'd pop you in there, darling. What else did I want? I still feel like there's something missing off this page. I haven't put any of this letter on here. I think I might tear a piece of that off. Just a little bit. Because it's got nice pinkish background. Because she needs to stand out from those trees a little bit. What's her story? She looks like a bit of a gypsy, doesn't she? Well, she's a free spirit, that's for sure. And she's been living in the woods, eating mushrooms. And she's received a letter, and now she's coming home. So she's going to walk out of the forest. I don't like the shape of that. Get a different piece. She needs to have something light behind her head. do that. Am I going to get this bit of lace in there anyway? Could just stick it somewhere for the heck of it, couldn't I? What about there? Oh, I think I can read you guys' mind. I think you're saying, just get on with it, will you? Please. You're driving me crazy. So what have we got that starts with L? We've got a landscape, we've got a lady, we've got leaf, we've got letter, we've got words starting with L. That's 5 things. And a label, that's 6. Isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, okay. I don't have to worry about adding other stuff in. So does that need to be inked? No. Let's just use whatever's on the edge of it. Did I finish telling the story about the dogs? I can't remember. Yeah, you can go there like that. Maybe put that leaf in there. And this one can go up there like that. Oh, it looks like she's got wings. I like this one. I love that shape. But where can we put you? So maybe going up her dress, her skirt. I'm going to cut around this because it's got a bit of a flower, and we'll see where it ends up. Behind her head, she can have that bit of lace in her hair. Okay, hop me over there. Let's get her stuck down. This is going to... Whoops, that was the scissors. They're on the floor when I'm looking for them. They're on the floor. You pop over here for the time being. You glue down your bit of love letter. Whatever it is. So I'm going to put it like that. I bet I just ruined my design by doing that. Not quite. We'll put... Oh. Let's just stick her head down first, because I've got to put those bits of leaf in, because I just want to make sure I let her room to wander. Oops, she nearly lost her head. Okay, so that one's going to go there, like so. Lift it up, and it goes that way. Get on there. And the other one's going to go out the other side. And that's the right way there, like that. If I have to, I'll come back and... Well, it's not as effective as it was before. That's alright. I think she needs a bit of colour on her, her clothes or something. I'm going to stick this on her head. Which is the right way. Alright, not the way I put it on. Okay. Re-glue and attach. She looks like she'd have birds flying, not birds, butterflies flying around her as she walks along. She's that type of person. Butterflies are drawn to her. A bit too much glue on there. It's too big. What's wrong with you? Take it off and cut it. Oh, where's my scissors? They're on the floor. Oh. Oh. As you get older, you start to make noises when you move. If you have to bend down, it's like, ugh. And then as you get up, it's, ugh. You can't help it. And it makes it easier. That'll do it. Okie dokie. Need something there, I reckon now. Maybe that's where I'll put the label. What shall I have on the label though? The labels are now looking too big. I think it just needs a little bit of colour around here. So maybe just dip your finger in. Oh yeah. And do that. And that, and that. Definitely need to put some splatters in there, so let's recheck. We have an L word, we've got a lady, we've got a leaf, we've got lace, we've got a love letter, we've got a landscape. So well and truly hit the brief as far as things that start with L. Do have some little vellum things here, upside down. What have we got? Oh. I wonder how that's going to look. No. Maybe over there it might look alright. That's a possibility. You know, you see stuff and it's like, oh, I've got to have that. And you see someone else using it. And then, yeah, when you get it, it doesn't look as good when you try to use it. My craft room's full of stuff like that. Sorry, darling. You paid for it all. My husband, that is. Probably thinking, oh my goodness. I did watch a very funny, like a stand-up comedian it was on YouTube, and it was something like never marry a crafty woman. And he was talking about his wife doing crafty things. And he said stuff like, oh, you know, why pay, you know, $200 for something from somewhere when if you've got a crafty wife, well then you can make one and it'll look like crap and all this stuff, and it'll probably cost more than it would have if you just went out and bought it. But yeah, it was funny. I had to laugh. I thought it was quite funny. He's like, his wife's idea of a good time on the Sunday morning was to go and have breakfast somewhere and then go to the craft store. And he's like, no, that is not a good idea. Okay, so what am I going to put on my label? Let's just go. You can't even see me. I'm not in frame. I'm so sorry. How long have I been out of frame for? You hop up there for a moment. Let's just go free spirit. Spirited. That's better. Is a sticker, I believe. Where are we? Back. This is so hard because when I move it to the left, it actually moves to the right on screen. Okay, let's see how long it takes me to get this off its backing piece of paper. Oh, there we go. Amazing. Where shall I put that? I shall put you there. I still wanted to do some splashes though, didn't I? Is it too late for splashes? I don't think so. This is what she's been living on, mushrooms. Splash with what? Let's, oh well, I've just happened to have my watercolour set here. My metallics. So, my favourite, go for gold. Time, oh, I've only got 3 minutes left before my camera stops filming. Let's just stop some on. I've got to keep an eye on that. I must be having fun because the time is really flowing. So let's just put a bit of gold on that. That'll do. And whoops, just around the edge of this. Can you see what I'm doing? Do I need to zoom out or something? What's going on? Why do I keep getting out of frame? Oh, goodness me. Goodness me, come on. I never did find my table from the other day either, in case anyone wondered. Just gone. I don't know where it could be. The only thing I can think of is it's between, you know, like two pieces of paper stuck in between or something. I looked in the bin, I looked everywhere. I might put some of these lighter colours on here. There's not much difference between those two. I never really can tell what it is. The one's like more like pearl, like the colour of like mother of pearl or something. The other one's silver maybe. So one's a bit cooler than the other. Come off. Obviously I haven't got enough water on that because nothing's happening. Okay, let's heat it. Come on. What? I'm going to do that and it ends up everywhere except where you want it. Well, let's just dot it on. They're going to be like that. I'm the boss. Maybe some darker, I think. Just a few black ones. And, oh yeah, that's it. I'm going to call that done. So I have a label, I have an L word, that's nothing. Leaves, a lady, lace, a letter, a landscape in the background, and leave stenciling, new word, stenciling. And what I'm going to do is cut that down to the size I want it, and then I'll show you what it looks like. I've cut that down so it's 6 inches wide, and I just left it at the same length. Does it look straight? Oh yeah. I'm just looking at it thinking everything looks like it's like that, but it's not. It's an optical illusion. Alright, and I just want to round the corners off. So let's go that size. And then I've got some walnut stain, I'm going to ink it. That looks nice with the corners off it, doesn't it? I'll just zoom you back out a little bit. Wrong way. There we go. That looks good. Just want the corners to be a little bit darker. Don't forget to check out the playlist, which is hashtag thecrazycraftchallenge. See what our lovely hosts Pam and Luise have created. Now, I haven't watched their videos yet, and the reason for that was mainly because Luise starts with L, and I didn't want what she did to influence me in any way. I didn't want it to look like I was copying off her, or, you know, that sort of thing. So I will watch them once I get my video up. I did have to, obviously, I did have to watch part of the video to find out what to do. But see the gold on there? I can see it, I'm not sure whether it's showing in the monitor. Let's straighten it out a bit. So I'm going to glue that into a book. And I have my lady walking out of a landscape, forest landscape. She's a Libra. She's got a label, she's free-spirited. I added a butterfly. She's got leaves, she's got a letter, she's got lace. She's got leaf patterns in the background. So she's got lots of L things. That's my metallic watercolours. Alrighty, don't forget to check out me and Julie's challenge as well, which is the 2022 collage challenge. We've got our first month up. We've had some awesome entries, and the participants that are playing along with us have done some beautiful work. So that playlist is there. And remember, creativity is contagious. Spread it around. Be kinder than you need to be. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers from Australia.